Hi, it's Jennifer Hicks with Purpose Planning. Stevie and I,
hey everyone,
are going to interview Scott and Amy today, and we're just going to talk a little bit about their financial path, how they utilize and how they perceived financial help and planning. And so today we're going to do just kind of a casual interview, have a discussion on how it impacted your lives.
All right. Scott and Amy, thanks for doing this with us. Can you guys start by just explaining what you would say to someone who thinks that they could manage their finances on their own?
Well, I used to think that I was pretty savvy in financial matters, and we had a pretty good size 401k and savings accounts. But in talking to you two about our financials, we were opened up to other avenues that could help us actually do better and protect ourselves better during all the ups and downs that come with the finances and investing.
Yeah.
Amy, do you feel that your history or your past experiences kind of agree with that, or do you feel a little different? Because a lot of times husband and wives have different views of the financial.
I feel real similar. I think we understood how to use and how to save for the future, but we also didn't have the interest or the deep knowledge that might be required to really have success long term.
So knowing what you guys know now, what would you say to someone who's just now starting to take their finances seriously, maybe is more starting out?
Sure. Well, I think everyone thinks that they can start at any time or can catch up really easily. So the first thing I would say is start early. A perfect example for us was we started early, and then we ran into a rough spot where we actually had 2 houses at one time and couldn't sell the one we are moving out of. And that allowed us, by starting early, to actually take our contributions down to 0 for a couple of years. And still were able to, in the end, have financials doing well with that period of 0 contributions for a couple of years. That's the thing that I think people don't understand, is it's very difficult, if not almost impossible, to catch up. So that is the advice is don't start early, because you don't feel the pressures like in that downtime when doing an early start.
Yeah. Almost everyone's going to have a downtime at some point, right? Like,
we weren't even married, and we had both started individually on our first steps.
Oh, wow.
We had both started putting away little bit by little bit. And so when we came together, we already had a practice of saving for the future, for the unknown. And so then when we got to that rough spot, it was actually really uncomfortable to go down to 0, but we had to. And that was okay, and we knew we had money working for us at that time. And we had great advice from people we trusted.
So when you say started early, you both started with your first jobs out of college.
Pretty much, yeah.
And when you started, and this is just curiosity, did you max out, or did you just start with a little bit of money and just keep increasing it?
Our plan was always to at least hit the company match.
Okay.
So wherever we were, where there was a company match of some sort, got to get that.
Well, that's free money.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's free money.
Free money. Yeah. So we.
Well, and again, we both were doing that independently.
Right.
before we were with an advisor, before we even met each other, we had that practice.
Right.
But so that was often, I think it was like 2 and 3%. So it was not big dollars. It wasn't the max of 10, 20%, whatever. It was money that I didn't miss when I didn't see it.
That's exactly it. Didn't miss it.
Well, and that is vital. And I think what you said, starting early, gives you, and this is what Stevie and I do with a lot of our planning, is we want people, our clients especially, but anybody that's investing and is planning for the future, to have options. And that's really what you guys did for yourself, is when you had a rough time, you had some options. You were in a pickle where you had to sell the house lower than you wanted. You didn't have to go borrow money. You just had to change your plan a little bit. Finally, I have kind of a wild card question, and you're not in this situation, but if you were, how would you think about it? So you guys started early and you were good savers. But what if you were 42 or 45 or even 50 and had some savings, but realized that you didn't start early enough? So it's kind of tough, because you guys are advocates of starting early, but what would you say to someone in their 40s or early 50s that maybe didn't start early enough?
The first thing that comes to mind for me is don't go alone. Don't go at it alone. Get with a financial advisor, because those are the people who are going to help you accelerate. Because when you said it, the first thing that came to mind was max out 401k. But that's
Maybe that's not the best vehicle.
Right, and maybe there's another vehicle that can happen because you're now a 40-year-old person, 50-year-old person. You have extra disposable income that you could invest somewhere else. Well, that's where the financial advisor can come in.
Got it.
As opposed to, I've maxed out my 401k, now I'm just going to put this in a savings account, and it's going to get 0.5% interest.
Right.
When I could have put it somewhere else.
So I think there's two things. I think one, the word or term financial advisor can be a little intimidating if you've never worked with one and you don't know what that's going to mean. And also, on the other side, maybe 10 of your friends are financial advisors.
Oh.
There's one on every street corner now, it seems like. And so don't let either of those things stop you in your track. Take action. Don't let fear or the unknown stop you. Purpose planning's been fabulous for us. It's worked great for us. Jennifer and Stevie and their team are amazing. We have loved the experience, but I would say if that isn't for you and there's someone else, just go do it. Don't let fear stop you, right here, right now.
I think that's a great way to find someone.
Yeah.
It may not be us. It may not be the first advisor that you speak with. We interview potential clients all the time, and sometimes it's a good fit and sometimes it's not. But
I mean, the trust, the personality, the style could make all the difference, but don't let fear stop you from starting.
perfect. Great.